Welcome to Hindu Infopedia. In this episode, we travel to a land once called the Paris of the Middle East, Lebanon. A place where elegance, intellect, and coexistence once flourished under cedar-lined skies, until the Lebanon civil war turned harmony into rubble. This is part 3 of our series, The Walls of Truth, What 57 Muslim Nations Know. There was a time when Beirut's streets looked like those of Paris or Geneva. Women strolled through palm-lined boulevards, cafes buzzed with debate, hotels hosted international guests, and universities attracted students from across continents. Lebanon was not imitating Europe, it was proudly Mediterranean, a living blend of Arab culture, French influence, and Christian-Muslim coexistence. It was also the region's only working multi-confessional democracy, a Maronite Christian president, a Sunni Muslim prime minister, and a Shia speaker of parliament. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. Then, the balance shifted. Palestinians arrived in waves, after 1948, after 1967, and in greatest numbers after Black September in Jordan, 1970. By 1975, nearly 400,000 Palestinians lived in a country of just 3 million, more than 13% of the population. They didn't arrive alone. They came with the PLO, the Popular Front, and other armed factions, organized, trained, and politically militant. In southern Lebanon, they built a state within a state, launching attacks into Israel from Lebanese soil while ignoring Lebanon's authority. The so-called refugee camps, Ain al-Hila, Satila, Burj el-Barajneh, became fortified cities where Lebanese law no longer applied. Lebanon bore the retaliation. Its sovereignty was hostage to forces it could not control. On April 13, 1975, Christian phalangists opened fire on a bus of Palestinians. It was retaliation for an earlier attack, and the spark that ignited a 15-year inferno. The Lebanon civil war was not two sides fighting, it was a web of militias, Christian, Muslim, Druze, Palestinian, Syrian, and Israeli, each waging its own battle for survival. Beirut became a divided city, east and west separated by the Green Line. Syria entered, promising peace but staying nearly 3 decades. Artillery leveled neighborhoods, and by 1990, more than 120,000 lives were lost. Lebanon delayed the fight Jordan had finished, and paid 40 times the cost. In 1982, after Israel's invasion and the PLO's evacuation, Christian militias massacred Palestinians in Sabra and Satila. The world remembers that horror, but rarely the 7 years of civil war that preceded it, where Palestinian factions fought alongside Lebanese militias and drew foreign armies into Lebanon. It does not justify the massacre, but it explains the desperation of a country collapsing under external wars fought on its soil. By the war's end, the Christian majority had fallen from 60% to around 30%. The TAF agreement ended the war but rewrote Lebanon's identity, replacing Christian primacy with fragile parity. And from the ashes rose a new power, Hezbollah. Formed in 1982 with Iranian and Syrian backing, Hezbollah soon became stronger than the Lebanese army itself. Even after Israel's 2000 withdrawal, Hezbollah refused to disarm. UN peacekeepers stood by, powerless. When Israel finally acted, it was condemned for doing what Lebanon could not, disarming the militia that the United Nations and the Islamic world should have confronted. Hezbollah's unchecked militarization was never Israel's burden alone. It was Lebanon's responsibility, and, collectively, that of the 57 Muslim nations who swore never again to let armed refugees destroy a host country. The Lebanon civil war left lessons etched in ruins. Jordan fought and survived. Lebanon hesitated and collapsed. Egypt studied both, and built a wall. 57 nations reached the same conclusion: compassion cannot come at the cost of sovereignty. Thank you for watching Hindu Infopedia. If you found this exploration insightful, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. To read the full analysis, visit hinduinfopedia.com, where facts, history, and truth stand together.